Hey everybody, how you doing? This is James from Wix1.com, Wix1.com, all things mobile. Today we're going to do a soft unboxing for the iPhone 10. So here's the box. It's white. It's a little different than the iPhone 8. The 8 box is a little darker, kind of a gray. This one's white. That's how it looks. Yeah. So inside the box, we'll take a look here. Put the phone just down for a moment. Inside the box, we have the usual suspects, I guess. Apple stickers, how-to information, English and French. Oh, and we've got the SIM card remover. I think on the 8, maybe that was missing, but I'm not 100% sure. But when I looked for it before, I could not find it. Inside the box, also the charging block. I really don't understand why we don't have a USB-C charging block at this point, but maybe next time it's a charm, eh? Here's the earbuds that we get, and the headphone dongle or earbud dongle. And as usual, the lightning connector USB 2.0 version. And that's all that's in the box. And here we go. This is the iPhone 10. It's exactly the same size. Well, not to the millimeter, but as an iPhone 8 or an iPhone 7. It fits perfectly in your hand. The sides are rounded. If you can see there, they're rounded and nice. All sides are rounded. And the logo and the word iPhone is underneath the glass, so it won't scratch. The cameras are vertical this time around. It's dual cameras on this device. It's like that most likely because of the true depth sensor around the front. But anyway, the device is very clean and shiny. It's glass in the front and the back. This is a Face ID device. So there's two ways to do this for Face ID. Either you raise to wake or you tap to wake. Or actually three ways, one more. You can push the side button and that will wake it up as well. The Face ID does work pretty good. You just kind of look at it and it finds you. It's not hard to do. I think some people think it's going to be in trouble and you can't do this, you can't do that, it's hard, you got to trick it or whatever. It worked pretty good in most tests that I had, and well, nothing is 100%. It's a good 90% accurate. So out of 100, pretty good, and for a device like this, that's batting pretty well. So basically, we'll just kind of raise the wake, look at it. It unlocks. Yeah. Swipe up, you get to your home screen. And you swipe from this side, get your control center. You swipe up, you swipe from this side, and you can cover down. The other swipe gesture that you might be looking for is reachability. Because if you're trying to get to something that's high up and your finger doesn't reach all the way up to the other side, you're going to have to update your device because out of the box it doesn't come with it. So you'll have to update your device to the latest version of iOS. And then once you have, then you're going to go into General, Accessibility. You're going to scroll down a little bit, and there's a place called Interaction, and it'll say Reachability. Yeah? And basically, reachability just helps you get to things that are further away from your hand or out of reach of different parts of your hand. So technically speaking, we can go into something, say for instance a web browser, and you'll see on the bottom, because the home screen line won't appear on everything. It's just anything that's not a home screen, you will see the line. if you want to use reachability on the line, you will have to swipe down on the line. So we're on this screen here, right? And you'll see the line. And to make it go down, you basically swipe down on the line, and then it'll go to half. Yeah? And so we like that it works pretty good over the line, but you might forget that you have to swipe over the line to get to it. And if you don't, it won't lower down. So here, like we're on Wix1.com, and we're going to kind of just, boom, we're going to try to get to it, and then, you know what I mean? It'll take a little practice. Once you know where it is, you'll get to it, and it's fine. And then you swipe up to go home. I find that the swipe gesture to go home is actually quite easy. You don't have any troubles at all. It's more natural than pushing the button, I find sometimes. But the button is still, a surefire way to get to the home. But swiping up is fairly natural, I thought. I just kind of zing up, and there you are. If you swipe to the left, you get to the news and all the other stuff you can configure. Swipe to the right, you basically get to all your other stuff that you have on your phone here, and it's at that point just an iPhone. The things that are different on this phone compared to some of the other ones or earlier generations, on the top here is a camera system. It's for the Face ID. That's why that space was created. Has a true depth sensor, has a front-facing camera, has some other information, and the true depth sensor is kind of mapping your face with 30,000 pixels or something like that, just to kind of figure out who you are, and so it can recreate it every time you are unlocking your device or authenticating something or trying to buy something or anything else. The system does work fairly good. I know some people don't like the way it looks. What you can do is there's a little app that you can get. It is free, but there's a pro version for $2.79. It's called Nacho. So look it up, Notcho. Hey guys at Nacho, remember I said so. Wix1.com loves you. Anyway, it does work, and it'll resize your image, so you're not going to see that area anymore. You're not going to see it on the home screen or on the lock screen. But where you will see it, because Nacho doesn't have any permissions to get to a system area, is you will see it in, say, reachability area or anywhere else that is iOS specific or system settings or something like that, because only Apple has abilities to make changes there. So you will see, but you will not see it on your home screen. You can make your own desktop pictures to fit. But it'll have to be darker looking, and to hide the black camera area. The phone does work pretty good. Fits in the hand. It's comfortable. It's not very heavy. I almost think that this is a little lighter than the iPhone 8, and I think it's a touch thinner. I've tried the 8. I've tried the 8 Plus. I've tried the 7. I've tried everything else, but I kind of feel like this one here is just a tad thinner, or just even a tad lighter than the iPhone 8. I could be wrong, but at a guess, I would say this might be just a touch lighter. Other than that, phone works pretty good, especially in phone calls. Bluetooth 5 works really well. It's a lot more steady, and it sounds nicer than some of the older devices. This is also true with the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, but this one here worked pretty good. Photos are really nice, and video. The emoticons and the fancy guys, like these ridiculous things here. Here, let me see if I can pull one up just for you. Okay. All right. Oh well. Anyways, you've seen them. You've seen all the ones before. The emoticons, basically, you sit there and you talk, and it's already got your face mapped, and it'll just talk as you talk. So it's kind of an AI trip, and then you're basically playing around from then on in. I feel like these devices, all these emoticons, like here's what they look like anyway, right? They were pretty interesting. Did you see that light that popped on the video? That's the true depth sensor trying to connect with somebody. Let's look at it again. It shows up on video, but doesn't show up so much on other things. It went away now. But it works pretty good, and I kind of dig this thing. Let's test this one out. 1, 2, 3, I'm an alien, hey? Let's test this one out. 1, 2, 3, I'm an alien, hey? So I think a lot of people will dig that, and they'll have a good time playing with it. Overall, iPhone 10 is a pretty good device. Is it worth going broke for? Probably not. But if you really want one, and you can get it at a decent price, I'd say sure. It's fine. I haven't found any actual problems. It works pretty good all the way through. I know it's Super AMOLED, and I've heard that Super AMOLED has a chance to do burn in. But if you're pretty active with your device, and you're always doing something different, then the pixels will be moving. The only time you have a chance for burn in is if pixels are not moving, and they will stay always the same, always the same, always the same, and then a picture will eventually burn in. I did see a phone burn in like that once. It was a Galaxy S8, and it definitely did achieve burn in. And I saw the burn in, which was not too nice, and it wouldn't go away. And basically, that was the end of that device. So I don't think that this is going to happen on these devices, but never say never, right? But I know that Apple has tried to put some things into the system to prevent this and to move the pixels around when you're not looking, kind of thing. So, I think at the end of the day, this is a good phone. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, a little space on the top, but you can mitigate that with a simple app or a dark background. It does show in video when it's full screen. But when it's not full screen, it does not. So you can still watch videos and not see the camera system. But if you stretch it out to full screen, you will see it on the one side. And it's not the end of the world, but you're getting a fairly advanced device, and there's a lot of things in here. It's very hard to create something like this. This is really a very serious package of information and technology. Apple's really kind of outdone themselves to a certain extent. Yes, some people say, well, they could have spent a little more time perfecting the top area. I may agree to a certain extent about that, but I do know this was supposed to be launched in 2018, not necessarily this year. And they've kind of rushed out the door. And so, I have a feeling by the time we see the next iPhone, that may have been mitigated. But I think we have a pretty nice device at this point, and the colors really pop. They're clean, they're sharp, photos are nice, call quality is good, signal's pretty good, charge is pretty good too. Even though it's just a little old wee charging block, still charges pretty good. I find that some of these new devices, they slowly start to charge, but once they start to charge, it speeds up. I don't know why that is, but I've seen that happening. It's like it's kind of gearing up, and then it's kind of chugging along a little faster. Yeah, I don't know why that is, but it's true. And you can test it yourself. You'll find out. Try it on your iPhone. So this is the iPhone 10. I know everybody says X, but it means 10 because it's the 10th anniversary of the device. Is this worth getting? Well, if you can get a good price on it, sure, it's a good device. It's not horrible. It's not a error like some people may say, and they're saying so many things because the outright price is very expensive. Well, in Canadian dollars it's $1,300. In the U.S. dollars it's $9.99. So Yeah, if you're not getting a subsidy, it's quite expensive. But if you are getting a subsidy, then you can most likely get it for a little bit less money, and then pay the subsidy over the term that you have your device. And so it's not as hard for you to get it. Is this a good device? Yeah, the iPhone 10 is a good device. There's nothing wrong with it. Works fine. Um, everything seems to work well, and phone calls are clean. Signals fine. There's one thing I wanted to mention though, because the camera system is in there, they didn't put as many icons or other information up there. One thing what you might be looking for is the battery percentage, which is not there any longer. And there's no option inside the settings to find a battery percentage. That particular battery percentage system is gone, but it's come back somewhere else. If you swipe down from the top, you will see the percentages back just in the control center. So it's a permanent fixture in the control center, but it's not available on the home screen. So it's still there. You can just swipe down and then you can get to it. All right. I will most likely have more information down the road about this, but this is a review for the iPhone 10. WIX1.com.